Welcome to Tuesday, 7th graders. I'm your host, Miss Swistowski. We're in week 3. We're doing lesson 2, and in the book we are on page 274 to 275. Let's start with a quiz. Benefits humans get from ecosystems are called, is it A, ecology, B, biodiversity, C, conservation, or D, ecological services? Take 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to eliminate some answers. First, ecology. Ecology is the study of ecosystems, not the good stuff we get out of ecosystems. I'm going to knock off another answer, conservation, because we didn't really talk about that. So if we didn't talk about it, probably not an option. The correct answer is ecological services. You should know that biodiversity is the variety and differences of organisms in an ecosystem. All right, my first question for you today, well, I guess my second, if you don't count the quiz, is how do humans treat ecosystems? What do we do to ecosystems? Well, I'm thinking of some things that we do. We destroy habitat. We pollute. We fish and hunt, and sometimes we do that too much. And we overpopulate. And the problem with overpopulating is that humans tend to use a lot of resources as a species. So all in all, we are not very kind to our ecosystems. And that is kind of silly because when we harm ecosystems, we reduce ecosystem services, and that's kind of the good stuff that we can get out of ecosystems. So when we hurt ecosystems, we actually hurt ourselves. So the goal of today is to learn about conserving ecosystems. So what does it mean to conserve? It means to keep safe from loss or waste. Like if you look at this picture, I'm wasting water in this GIF, right? I've got the sprinklers on, I've got the shower on, I've got the sink overflowing. So that's wasting. If we were to conserve, we would try to stop this extra waste. And conservation is the practice or action of using less resources so things can last longer. Like I could say I need to conserve water. All right, so how can I go about conserving ecosystems? Well, I can start with sustainability. Ecosystems need to be protected from loss of resources. Like we are greedy and we use too much. So we need to think about how we can sustain ecosystems. Sustainability is the ability of an ecosystem to maintain biodiversity and deal with changes. So if an ecosystem's left alone, it does sustainability all by itself. But the problem is that we come in and we kind of mess things up. So what can we do to help ecosystems keep up their sustainability? Well, we can set aside land just for nature, no other purposes, no roads, no schools, no malls, just to let it be. We could also, if we have to build, we could try to build with less resources and less damage. Like for example, this is a picture of a apartment, a really tall building, and you can see that there's lots of plants. And that kind of like, even though we're building, we're trying to give back as well because the plants will take in carbon dioxide and they'll also make a habitat or home for birds and bugs. The second way I can try to conserve ecosystem is through regulation, and that is laws that protect ecosystems. So let me give you some examples. There is such thing as the Endangered Species Act, and that protects animals that might become extinct or no longer exist. So that's like giving animals a space to live, like on a nature preserve. It's putting people in jail or fining them if they hunt them. So try to protect the species so that they can hopefully rebuild themselves. Another law is the Wetland Act. In the US, if you destroy a wetland, you must build another one somewhere else. So if you absolutely have to get rid of a wetland, and they will get rid of wetlands to build, they'll drain them, you got to make another one somewhere else, or you could risk going to jail or getting fined. All right, finally, another way that I can protect or conserve ecosystem is through ecosystem restoration. So that is the practice or action of helping a damaged or destroyed ecosystem recover. And guys, this can be on a really, really big scale. Like a bunch of people for this first picture, a bunch of scientists, citizens, government really came together to fix this ecosystem, as you can see in the before or after. But it doesn't have to be that grand. It doesn't have to be that big. It can be as simple as going outside and planting trees. All right. And if you can't do that, you can even just go outside and just pick up some trash, trash from your backyard, trash from the park. No act is too small. And we're finding ourselves with a lot of extra time lately. Like, this is something that you could do. Just go out. If you see some trash, just put it in the proper place it's supposed to be. Don't let it go into the ecosystem. Don't let it go into Lake Erie. That's like one of the worst things that could do. And it might seem small, guys, but every little bit helps, especially now. So please, no one's expecting you to save the world, but this is something that you could do on your own, and it will make a difference. And it's something that you can do and feel good about yourself because you are trying to conserve the ecosystem. Let's end with a little quick quiz. The practice of using less resources is it A, conservation, B, ecosystem services, C, regulation, or D, biodiversity? I'm going to knock out ecosystem service. Oops, I forgot to count down. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Already knocked out the first question, or the first wrong answer. Ecosystem services are good things that the ecosystem gives us, like food and shelter. So that's not using less resources. I'm going to eliminate biodiversity because that is the variety and differences of plants and animals. It's not anything about using resources. So hopefully you were able to choose conservation as the correct answer. And again, regulation is like having laws in place to protect ecosystems. So guys, that is it. You will have an assignment tomorrow. So please look on Schoology. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.